Okay, everybody, we are going to talk today about the formation we're going to play for our football games. And we call the formation 3-4-1. And what that means, it's three backs, three in the midfield, and one up front. So, just looking at the 3-4-1 formation, I think the first thing we need to talk about is the thirds of a soccer field. So, the soccer field can be broken up into three different thirds lengthways. And it's really important when we're playing in our positions that we understand these thirds. So you can see there's one third there, the centre third, and the left third. So we've got the right third and the dark colour at the top, the centre third in the blue, and the left third in the red. So what it looks like when we've got players on the field is all these players are obviously in one team. But we've got our three backs, our goalie in red, our three backs in blue, our midfield in yellow, and our strikers up the front there. We've got the yellow dotted lines actually signify the thirds of the soccer field, and we're going to have a bit of a look at what happens and how we want to play, because we really want to make sure we've spread out playing our games. We don't want to be in a big bunch, and it's really important we understand the thirds rule when we're playing football. So basically, if the ball goes down onto the right back there and the right back's under pressure, our centre back can actually come across to help. Now I want you to watch what the left back does at the bottom. Our left back would move out of their third and come in to help at the centre third, but notice how they don't run over into the right third, giving us all three defenders in one space. Now when the centre back moves back, our left back moves back out. And that's kind of the rule. We can kind of have two defenders in one of the thirds, but we should never see all three defenders in one third. One person always needs to hold the centre. When we look at in the midfield role, we've got two wingers on the outsides and two centre midfielders in the middle. We can see that the outside players or wingers or halves, they can move backwards, but they can also move all the way up the field. These people have to be super energetic. They have got a lot of running to do. They have got to move up and what we call track back, which means run back with the players as well. When the ball's played out wide to our winger, I want you to watch what the winger on the other side of the field does. You can see that they move in to the top of the third, but notice how they don't come into the middle of the pitch. It's really important they stay out wide. We can see that the other midfielder may come across to help. We might see that the striker comes and helps too, which makes a nice little triangle. Now we've got two players that are bunched there, so the other centre midfielder will move across into a good position. And we would see here that we can pass the ball to the striker. And what may happen here is that my centre midfielder may make a run. The ball gets passed to the centre, and the winger on the other side needs to have a think about this, because if the ball's back in the centre, they need to press nice and wide, ready to receive the ball. It's really important you can see how each player covers one of the thirds. Our two centre midfielders are in the centre third. Our right winger and our left winger are covering their own thirds. And our striker, they're running backwards and forwards across all of the areas. They're covering all three thirds. They're probably one of the few players that covers all three thirds at any time. So there's a little simple rundown of the 3-4-1 formation that we're going to be playing with, and we're going to practice this really hard. You may want to watch this video a couple of times and start thinking about what position you get put into and what sort of thirds can you cover.